Hi guys, wanted to give my insights with regards to dating apps and why you should get rid of them as soon as possible. Um, well, I'm gonna start off with my story. 38 years old. Uh, Dating apps didn't come until later on in life. I think the, the first dating app that I was ever logged into was Yahoo Messenger. Believe it or not, it was like Yahoo Messenger or AOL Messenger back after high school, which was like 2005. And at that time, you could meet somebody by typing and sending a message. You couldn't actually see a profile. I think it was even before MySpace. For all you that know MySpace, this is going way back. Anyways, and I met this girl online at AOL Messenger, and I sent her a message, and I said, "Hey, what's up? Would you like to hang out?" Da da da. She said, "Yeah, why don't you give me a call?" So I went ahead and picked up the phone, and I said, "Let me give this girl a call to hang out." And at that time, I was still young, I was 19, 20 years old. I didn't recognize like phone recognition. I didn't like There was something going on with her breathing that I didn't know why she was having a hard time breathing. I thought it was like she had an inhaler or she just had some kind of defect. Um, so, anyways, she says, "Hey, do you mind bringing my friend along? My friend would like to come too, or bringing a friend along so my friend can come too." And I said, "Sure." It's like a double date. So I asked my roommate at the time, "Hey, can you come with me?" And so at that time, I had a Ford Mustang. It was 1995 Ford GT, and it's a small car. It's like a nice little race car, whatever you want to call it at that time. And this was in Pico. She wanted me to pick her up, and I'm from the Valley, which is in Los Angeles, which is it's like a nice, it's a night and day difference. So I drive all the way to Pico and Los Angeles, somewhere out there, Pico Rivera, somewhere out there, right? Like somewhere in Los Angeles. And I get to this hill, and lo and behold, I see these two chicks who were, for lack of a better word, they were really big girls. And when I say big, I mean like, and it's not fat shaming to anybody. This is a real story. I'm just trying to illustrate to you guys what this meant to me, why this all will be coming together regarding the dating apps. So the girls were easily about 200 plus pounds, about 5'3", and let me tell you, like I was shocked because I didn't expect that, and that made more sense to me after when I realized she had a hard time breathing because she was a chunky girl, right? But as soon as they got in the car, because they both sat on the same side of the car, and these cars are low. If you can Google Ford Mustang GT 1995, they're like really low to the ground. When I tell you, and I'm not kidding, that my car was scraping the entire time until we went to an event, it was literally scraping because they both sat on that same side. Now, that's not to sit here and make fun of fat people. If you have problems with that, I'm grown man. I don't need to be doing that to people. The point that I'm trying to make is that was my first encounter of dating apps or a dating scene through the internet. And anyways, we went to the spot and uh, we had fun or whatever. And anyways, that was my first encounter. Did I hook up with these chicks? And I didn't, right? Like the girl lied to me. She said she was like 5'3", 120 or something. At that time, you don't know weight. Like you don't. I was 20 years old, and I never thought about like, oh, this girl's 5'4", petite, or you just don't know weight. I didn't pay at that time. I don't think that you really paid attention to that sort of thing. Anyways, so then I liked it, right? Like I was meeting people online, and then lo and behold, there came Tinder, and I think Tinder hit 2012 or 2013 is when I logged in for the first time. I think that was my first dating app. I think that was Tinder's been a while, been on the game for a while. And as soon as I got that app, I got hooked because it was fun. It was swipe right, swipe left, and you met all these people and you were connecting so easily. Not like it is now. Like Tinder and all these apps are kind of harder to connect now. Like you could still get connections, but everyone is just so I'll get to that. But I remember connecting with a person and then being able to take him out almost that same week. And I remember I was on fire for a while. I remember taking out like 5 girls in like a week or like a week and a half or something. It was crazy. It was like Tinder when Tinder first hit the game. It was like all hands on deck. Like you can connect with people, you can match with people, you can meet them up, and you can even hook up like literally. And it got so good. And if you can remember that there were murderers from Tinder because people were easily getting them hooked or matched, and they were meeting up, and then this guy was like on a killing spree, killing Tinder. I think so. I remember this story vaguely, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, and that continued on. Like I still kept the app, and then a relationship came along with somebody, and I never got rid of the app. I did. I think I deleted it from my phone, but I never deleted it completely. Does that make sense? Like the actual profile. So I started dating this person, and then as soon as things were getting bored, that's when I would find ways to get back into it because what I didn't know at the time was I was getting such a high dopamine from those interactions. And by the way, just to be clear, the word dopamine really wasn't used growing up as high school kids or when I grew up as a kid or even elementary or high school or after. Like the word dopamine was very rare. I don't even remember ever ever using that word ever like as a kid. I remember like using curse words and the B word and all these other words, but never dopamine. And dopamine almost came in as regards to all these apps, all these text messaging, all this stuff that creates this dopamine high from the interactions that we get. And I was getting such a huge dopamine and such a rush from these other girls because they were easily attainable and because it was also like a way to make me feel good. And regardless of what my girlfriend was doing at that time, nothing nothing could make me feel even better knowing that I could have my piece of cake and the rest of it too. Or you know that saying, have your cake and all of it too. So I don't know, something like that. But I felt like I could have everything all at once, and that was because I was easily attainable, right? Like I could go online, I could meet with these chicks, I could talk to my chicks. If I got in a fight with my girl, I could always revert back to talking to these other girls that will find a way to make myself feel good. And it was just this vicious cycle for like so long, and I never detached myself from that. And then came my other relationship because that one ended, obviously, right? Like whenever you don't give yourself to something fully, your other partner is going to realize. Like both sides are going to realize, like, the joke's on you when you think that you're fooling everyone else in the room, but the reality is you're not fooling anybody. It's like you keep doing the same thing over and over. And expecting change is another word. It's another form of insanity, right? So, anyways, so going back to my next relationship, I actually had a kid with this woman, and kid's nice and grown, beautiful. She's 5 years old, and I was doing the same thing. I was putting myself in situations where uh, I would get in arguments with her. I would go online, and now this is later down the years. This is like the last 5 years, right? And what I could tell you from those experiences is it wasn't the same. I wasn't hooking up with these chicks, right? I promise I wasn't. I can admit it if I did. It was just a way to escape my reality, whether it was a fight with my spouse or I wanted to get away and have someone make me feel good about me. I wanted someone to tell me that I was attractive. I wanted someone to tell me that I was worth it. I wanted justification of someone else telling me that they loved me. And yeah, love me. Like I would write these crazy text messages to get to a point where I wanted to hear the word love from these people. And it was just a high. It was a high. And then after a couple conversations, you know what would happen? I'd ghost them. I'd be far and gone. It was just a way for me to cope with not being able to love myself. Realizing this after my last relationship that ended, I realized I needed help. Like I needed to get that out of my system. And so far it's been 5 months. It'll be 6 months clean the next month on the start of the first. So which will be December 1st. Clean from those apps. And I'm here to tell you, like, it's a long process for me personally. But I've been happier. I've been more accepting of myself, knowing that I don't need some validation to make me know that I'm being loved. And a lot of it is through God, as you can see, like the crucifix. Um, it's a lot of it through God that allows me to understand that I have He's loved me regardless of my sins, right? But also like a reflection of why is it that I'm searching for validation from others when the reality is I shouldn't be looking for anything in the outside world, but more internally. I should be looking from within. Like, what am I lacking that I don't love about me? Oh, yeah, I don't love my career. Okay, good. That's a good start. Oh, yeah, I didn't like the fact that I was out drinking all the time with my friends. Okay, good. That's a good start. Now it's time to stop that. I didn't like the fact that I was using certain drugs that were enhancing my dopamine and making me feel really good about myself, but really shitty the next day. Oh, good. Can you get rid of that? Yes, I can. It's like these layers of feeling bad about myself and wanting justification from the outside world were the cause of the root of the problem. Like the root of the problem for me to look for those apps was number one, addiction. I was addicted to them. Number two, I had a dopamine hit. It was like a drug to get the the rush of someone telling me how beautiful, how sexy, and how I make them feel so good. And it was all fluff. It was all lies. It was all deceiving. And I knew it was like I knew that none of this was ever gonna last. I knew that because it was such a small little hit, it was like a hit of a drug, that was enough for me to carry on for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, just because it made me feel good. And what I came to realize when I was done with it is I never was happy with myself. I never loved myself. I never, and that needed to change. How do I love myself? I started doing things to love me, meaning waking up early, working out, not doing drugs, writing on a journal, seriously analyzing what's going on in my brain, not falling victim to, oh my God, I'm a victim to this, I'm trapped. The reason I'm like this is because what's the guy from Facebook? His name is Zuckerberg made us all crazy, or this people made us all. They know the psychology behind it. They're trapping all of us. It's like, yeah, they did to some extent, but I still had the choice. I still had the choice to download the app. Even if it was an addictive app, I still had the choice to say, I'm not willing to do that to break up my relationship with my ex who I have a baby with. Do you understand that? Like, I broke up a relationship for an app, or it tainted my relationship because of an app. And realizing that my daughter will suffer the consequences because of that, whether it be good or bad, it's on me because she now has to live in separate homes. I want to let you guys know, for any men or women that have a hard time dealing with this, you can address it, but you're going to have to take the necessary steps to start loving yourself. I generally look at you, like right now, and I see beauty in each and every single one of you. And I don't mean that like in a, ooh, like I love you all. No, I don't know you. But you all have these perfect, beautiful qualities. We all do. I do. You guys on the other side of this too. The problem is we hide them so much and we mask them, and we're so insecure about ourselves that we're too afraid to show the world, to show others our true innate self. Like if I want to, now that I've changed my ways of like accepting who I am, I can express more love to people. Meaning I can hug more people now, even if I'm working out. I'll tell a guy like, I go, hey, what's up, bro? I'm like, bro, do you mind if I get a hug? It's like a bro hug, or a woman that I haven't seen in a while, a friend, or even my mom or my sister. the connection that you get from hugging someone is a far greater feeling than any dopamine hit that I've had, whether it be drug, whether it be online, whether it be on even I don't even know if I could say that, like the X videos, you know what I'm talking about. Even all that, like the affection that you can get from people, the love that you have within yourself, that and this is my opinion, maybe you guys think I'm crazy, but I think we all have a little boy or girl, whatever you define yourself as. You have that little inner child of you that was is still there, which is why we're so playful still to this day, which is why, and I know I'm kind of going on a ramble right now, going on a different topic, but I'm trying to make you understand that you don't have to be in that position of being trapped because of these apps, or being trapped because you think you have no control. No, you have full control. When these things occur to you in your brain and you see it happening and you stop and pause and say, why am I downloading this app? Like, can I have the strength to build through this? And to me, God is my strength. Like, I'll ask him for it. And you guys are going to have to figure out if you believe in God or if you believe in something, the universe, whatever it is that you have to. My suggestion, find God first, but walk that path with people that are knowledgeable, people that love you, people that aren't throwing religion to you just to make you feel like without religion you're gonna die, you're gonna go to hell. I don't want. Look, listen, I'm not any of that. I want you to understand this is what's helped me, is when I say I can do all things through him who gives me strength, which is God. And when I find that peace in my heart, it makes me easier to be more controlling of my emotions, controlling of what I can control in my life. So relationships, it's destroying how we think about women too. They're not just a swipe right or swipe left. Women aren't some kind of device where you can just swipe left or right. Same with men. We're not just uh um I don't know even know how to describe it. We're not just robots, right? We're people with feelings. We want validation. We want to feel loved. When we post something on the internet, it's 99% of the time it's not because we want to show, like I'm talking about Instagram and stuff, to show that we went to this trip just so no one likes it. We want the likes. We want the validation from people because we seek that from one another. So it's in our nature. It becomes a problem when you're in a relationship and you're seeking validation from other women or other men or whatever, because you're not giving your full potential to that one partner. And that, to me, I'll even come close to that, because realizing the pain that I caused my partner, along with the separation from my daughter, is truly, and I mean this genuinely, the most hurtful experience of my entire life. I've literally cried for days. And to this day, I still do, because I don't have them in my bed. I don't have my daughter in my bed. I don't have my ex on my bed. And it's pain that you have to adjust to and grow to, but it is also a humbling, and it brings you type of knee experience where you are so. I'm grateful that it happened to me. Can I be clear? I'm grateful that this experience happened to me, because it's helped me understand the errors and the corrections that I needed to make to be in order to live this life with a less regrettable future. Yeah, because I'm gonna regret things, but I don't want it to regret the way that type of regret. You know what I mean? Like, or even like you're gonna have regrets, but you don't want your regrets to be so painful enough that it makes it hard to live life. Maybe I'm saying this too wrong. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you. Anyways, if you have plans on getting apps, if you think that's gonna help you feel good about yourself, to me they're just so disgusting. They make you feel I don't know. It's just like you're looking for this substance of feeling loved and feeling cared for, and it is the last place you want to look for, because unless you learn how to love yourself, I don't see how you can move forward in life. But anyways, these are my experiences. Maybe you guys can share yours. Please leave me any comments if this helped you. I hope you guys are able to get something out of this, able to heal from this, or able to understand this better than, I don't know, than most people. But if you like this, go ahead and like and share and subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories about this. I'm also I'm willing to share some more if you guys are willing to listen. Thanks a lot, guys.